All right. Does anybody want to recap from last week? Prefer that I do it?
We need Brad.
I
He's always so good at that.
I'll do it real quick. That's fine. We started off with. Did we start off with Eric? I think we did. He went diving with his mother and found a bowl worth exactly 1,000 gold pieces. He also showed her the pamphlet that he got in the prison complex, and she told him that she didn't recognize any of the names on there. Moving on to Urzak. Urzak went shopping and met his new best friend and travel companion, Colm Ratkinson, who runs the potion and you like that? Who runs the potions and scrolls shop in the capital city. He purchased a scroll of disguise self and a potion of invisibility, I believe. I think there was a third item. I can't remember what the third one is.
Scroll of Find Familiar.
Find Familiar, that's what it was. He also... did you make him glasses, or you gave him glasses, or you had Belle make him glasses to help him sunglasses to see in the bright light. You're also contacted by Visick one more time, and Mara will, or the aspect of Mara will, shut that down and warded Colm's shop. We heard Zakai give a sermon in the absence of the rector of the Church of Cassis, after fearing that he was sick. He also had a conversation with General Daunt and regrew his missing hand. He was asked to join/watch over the party by Daunt because he believes that the party can right the wrongs done by the casters. We started with Brackle. I forgot because you were.
Oh yeah. I was thinking that was 2 sessions ago.
Yeah. Brackle had a discussion with Sekola, the Reef Guardian god. He laid out all the things that he wanted and all the things that he would provide to Brackle / to the party, and gave Brackle a couple days to think it over before sinking him back into the ground and asking him for a final answer. And Teth decided to go ahead and have the operation to remove his organic matter and replace it with the Orb of Power. He resisted the first Constitution save and failed the second one, which would have required a natural 20. And blacked out, came to in the middle of the forest without any armor. But the orb is still intact and inside of his chest. And that's where we left off. Unless I'm missing anything else that you guys can remember.
You say, I'm trying to remember. I might have just blacked out just now, but Vern.
Oh, Vern. Vern researched.
I thought I faded away, and I didn't like. I was like, did I miss him saying my story?
Nope. Okay. That's my bad. Yeah, Vern researched the importance of the Wellerby family crest, and found out it is connected to his parents were friends with / connected to the 4th victor of the tithes, and his family line is located in the Strauss. Strauss's family line is located in the northwestern quadrant of the continent around Ismael / the Eagle Peaks, which Brackle is from, and Urzak spent some time researching in his downtime previously. Sorry about that, Vern.
Eagle. That's okay.
Glad I asked if I missed anything. All right. Today, we are going to start with Vern. And this is going to. So day 8 saw us. Day 8 saw Teth going into his operation and coming out of it in a different location. We're going to interject into the middle of that operation. And so this is also on day 8, Vern. You are again up in you are actually at the top of the tower today. You're up on the roof with Zapdos. And you're just trying to connect with him a little bit more and see what he's all about. Could you describe to the rest of the table how you are trying to bond with him / what you would like to try and train him to do?
Yes, let's see. To play with Zapdos, I am detaching my mechanical fingers that can still then twitch around, and I'm putting them on the ground like they're worms. And I'm like, get them, Zapdos, get them. And he's like fetching my fingers for me and flying them back.
Okay.
And then I say, good boy. And let's see. I also take big handfuls of the poison berries that he's now consistently bringing back to me, and I'm going like this, but I'm letting them fall into my shirt, and I'm going, yum, 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 yum. So good, Zapdos. What a good boy. Bringing me all those tasty berries. So I'm not eating them. They're falling into my shirt.
Okay. Roll an animal handling check for me, please.
Oh, really? Animal handling?
For as many people as you get on your side, Vern, like your animal handling should be better.
Yeah, you would think.
We can. I mean, this
That's
is the time to increase that skill. 13 is not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a 13, he's picking up what you're putting down. Literally, he is getting your fingers off the ground and returning them to you, and you can tell that he is generally understanding what you are telling him to do.
Good. Okay.
It feels like with that role and all of the time that you've now spent with him over the past 8 days or whatever, 9 days that it's been, he seems to want to bond with you a little bit more. So he's gonna kind of fly up to you and start not like destroying it or tattering your clothing, just kind of like picking at your clothing a little bit, looking for a place that he can fit inside.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's see. I mean, I have so many layers with like vests and jackets and fancy things. So I'm sure there are plenty of pockets, but let's keep them in like actually like a little lower of a pocket. Like maybe my vest has some pockets down here where I'd keep like a pocket watch if they existed, but instead I keep a Zapdos.
Okay. So you can guide him down to that pocket, and he'll kind of almost like how a biological bird would be making a nest. Yeah, he roosts up in a tree. You can feel him kind of like turning around and like scraping inside of the pocket and making it his own. Maybe he would take one of the berries and just like, keep it in there with him.
You can have it.
Yeah. And he's just going to stick his head out real quick. And you start to hear almost what feels like static, like TV snow fuzz in your head.
Okay.
And he is going to look up at you. And you just you hear the faintest mechanical sounding hi.
Oh yes, same voice as Ollie too. I love that. Ollie? No. Okay.
And it's just, he just like flaps up Ollie from behind the
Ollie!
tower. It was me the whole time.
So I'll say, hey, little buddy. Um, you've been pretty quiet up till now. This is in my head. I'm saying this in my head.
It is telepathic, yes.
Okay, but for effects, on the outside, I'm going and making some staticky noise as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll look around, almost confused. And he'll look back up at you and kind of cock his head and say, "Father?"
Oh, well, you know, maybe not biologically, but we can define fathers and dads in a variety of ways, Zapdos.
What's Zapdos?
Well, that's you. Named after a creature of legend.
Me, Zapdos?
You, Zapdos. Me, Vern.
Father Vern?
Oh, well, I'm not terribly religious, so you can, let's see, you can call me. How about Uncle Vern? Let's do that.
Uncle Vern keep Zapdos?
Oh, definitely, Uncle Vern keeps that toast nice and safe, and maybe you can help my friends and I on our adventure. My friends and me. God, I'm an English teacher. Sorry, my friends and me, Zapdos, on our adventure. Help my friends and me.
Zapdos like helping friends and I on adventure.
Oh boy. Good, great. Zapdos. Did you go on many adventures before you met Unky Vern?
Some adventures in trees.
In trees? Oh, that's exciting. With anybody else or just by yourself?
Lots of other shiny birds like Zapdos.
Yeah.
And one big green bird.
Oh. Oh, I see, I see. And did the big green bird, is that like your mother?
No, Mother Uncle Vern.
Oh, okay. I'm a lot of things. Okay. Um, good, good. How did the big green bird treat you and the other little birds?
So nice.
Yeah. Did you have to do anything for her?
No, big green bird make all of us.
Oh. And do you know why you were made?
To adventure with Uncle Vern.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sweet. And you know what? You're right. We find our own purpose in this world, Zapdos. I'm glad you're following your little electrical heart.
What is purpose?
Well,
boy.
Zapdos, this is getting
Getting philosophical.
How are babies made?
Zapdos'
Tell me all
purpose
about it.
is when you do something and it makes you feel right inside.
What is right inside?
Well, you know how excited you get when you fly through trees?
So excited.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's more sustained. Like a instead of like a jolt, it's like a consistent um what's a sustained electrical thing? Like a sustained
Current?
current. Yes, sustained current. Um it feels like that. Doesn't that sound nice?
So nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm here to help you find your purpose, Zapdos. Just as we're all realizing that we all have a very big purpose, it seems, in this world.
Zapdos also have big purpose.
Yes, you do. We probably won't be, putting in powerful orb inside you anytime soon, but you can help us as we find them.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And
But you know what's
he'll-
gonna? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go
That's
ahead.
it. But you know what's gonna help us find them?
What?
If we teach you some new fun skills.
How do I do that?
That's a very good question. Well, this first skill is called Cast Wish. And what you just kidding. Well, I tinker quite a bit with my own arm, so I think if you let me, if you trust Unky Vern, I'd like to maybe start by seeing what sort of machinations you have inside you a bit. And some new interesting things.
Okay. Make a. I will give you the option between rolling animal handling at advantage
Okay.
or just a nature check. Standard roll.
Intriguing. I think animal handling and advantage is still the better option.
Okay.
Oh, not that one. You're just hoping for this one being better. Okay, that one's better.
Yeah, 16 is not bad. So he will hop out of your pocket, up onto your
Mhm.
arm,
Mhm.
and you'll see him as he crawls up onto your arm. The layers of his body start splitting open. So almost like like a loaf of metallic bread. He just like slinkies out.
Okay. Yeah.
And
The
you
thing
can
I was
see
thinking of, did you ever see the movie The Cell with like J-Lo?
No.
Oh, there's this trippy scene where like a horse gets split into like these. It's like in a dream sequence, and it's like in glass. So I'm kind of picturing that as he
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fans out. Okay.
Yeah, think of it like you're getting perfect cross sections
Yes. Yeah.
of his internal mechanisms, and he'll just spread himself all the way out. He's normally like 5 inches long, maybe, if that. He's a tiny creature. He
Okay.
goes all the way from your elbow to the tip of your fingers. He just
wow.
spreads all the way out.
Oh, okay.
And what are you doing with spread out Zapdos?
Can I first see if there's? I mean, he's a little Thunderbird, right?
Mhm.
That's why we named him what we named him, and he doesn't have any electrical abilities yet. And since I'm also an electrical guy, um, can I see if there's anything in his mechanisms where I could install something that would allow him to push lightning energy forward? And,
There are definitely some big gaps in his torso. You can see up towards his head, especially in his beak. There's some ocular mechanisms, so he can definitely see.
Mhm.
You would guess that. Actually, you know what? Make an investigation. Nice. With a 15, you would know that how these mechanisms are wired inside. You would guess that it's a pretty decent perception for his surroundings, and he has blind sight.
Oh, nice. I like that.
You can also tell that the interior of his body, just under the outer metal shell, is insulated with some type of rubber, or I mean the medieval version of silicone, some type of dampening agent. You would assume that he is at least resistant, if not immune, to lightning damage.
Okay, cool. Well, I know I can't do it like right here in this moment, but I would like to, in one of the gaps, install something where he can do some lightning damage, and maybe not so much like I don't want him to be like a battle bird. He's like too small to really deal any major damage. But if he's so small, I would like to be able to like command him to fly towards like objects that are mechanical and maybe like attempt to short circuit them.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of specific, but I feel like that's a better use for him than just him rolling initiative and trying to electrocute things in battle.
Right. So one of the abilities that the stat block has, that I like that idea too. I think that we should add that in for sure.
Okay.
I think that's really cool flavor. But one of them, if you would like to choose this one as well, it's called Inspired Jolt. So this is kind of like lightning themed as well. The Zapdos chooses one creature it can see within 15 feet. On their next turn, the target can either take the dash action as a bonus action or add 20 feet to their movement speed. So he just kind of like shocks them into extra movement.
Yeah, I like
so you could choose that, or you can do the other one. I think long term, I would love to do both of them because that's a really good idea. Short circuiting stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So right now I can only pick one though.
Yes, pick one of the two.
I'll do the thing that's gonna more directly help my party then. We'll do the Inspired Jolt from the satellite.
Okay. So yeah, like you said, you can't do it right now because you don't have the electronics on your person. But with the rest of your downtime, you can easily install that. So by time the party reconvenes and you restart your adventure, he will be able to use the Inspired Jolt action.
Okay. Can I don't want to take too much time doing this, but there are two other things I'd like to look for.
Okay.
And one thing I'd like to modify. So one thing I'd like to modify. But I'll do just the other thing. Can I first look? Because we saw. I know I don't have any knowledge of what the green dragon is, but we saw arguably what she did. Right? Wasn't there that battlefield where like most people were like injured and in bad shape?
Yeah, lots of people mauled, and some of their body parts were dissolved.
That's right. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And we saw the green, like the big green thing fly overhead. So I think Vern has put two and two together. And even though he might still be thinking it's, not a dragon, it's a bird, like Zapdos said, it sounds dangerous. So can I try to look for anything inside Zapdos that could, since it was made by something that's obviously dangerous, that could be triggered to make Zapdos a mean bird, an evil bird, instead of his happy, chipper little self right now? Like, is there like a, what's it called? You know, like when you have like a sleeper agent,
like a kill switch.
Sort of like that. Yeah.
Make
like a Hydra.
make a straight intelligence roll.
Okay.
The DC is going to be higher for this. I'm going to set it at.
It won't matter.
17. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, you've kind of been looking through. There's nothing that screams immediate danger to you, but you also think you may have to just sit down with him for longer and take a better look.
Okay.
Without disassembling pieces of him, you can't see it from this angle, for sure.
Okay. So he is speaking to me telepathically. So he doesn't have a mechanism that produces sound, like besides static, but that just seems like it's his body radiating.
Yeah, he has a beak because he's modeled after a bird, but the beak does not open in a traditional bird-like manner.
this is my last thing I'll try to do. I want to, and I'll need to take him to a workbench for this, I think, to like tinker with him. But I want to take that doll that I have. You know, the doll that like recites things, that hideous doll. And can I try to, I know it's magical, but if there's like something in it, like a voice box, I don't care if it's a magical voice box or whatever, can I try to plant it into Zapdos so that maybe best case scenario, he can speak if he wants to others, or if not that great, I can use it to again essentially have that doll, but now I can like send Zapdos to like places that are farther and like spout off recorded phrases.
Yeah, I will allow you to try and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very cool idea. Yeah, so you can start heading down to the working section of the tower. As you're heading down, though, you hear what sounds like an incredibly loud metallic groan, like giant pieces of metal scraping together almost. And what sounds like it could be a minor explosion on the lowest level of the tower.
Okay. Vern would run down to investigate. I was gonna say not my circus, not my monkeys, and just ignore it, but no. Vern will rush down to the first floor and see what's happening.
As you turn the corner, it's a spiral staircase around the outside of the tower. As you get down to the bottom floor, you turn the corner out of the staircase. You see Teth. His eyes are completely white. They are glowing white. He has an orb implanted in his chest, which is also glowing, blinding white. And he has Belle out of her chair, pinned to the floor.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, Teth, buddy, is this appropriate behavior to someone who's our friend?
He's going to turn towards you as you are talking, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
My God, Teth.
Sorry, bro.
Furnace toast. Okay. Yes.
Hey, nice. Nat 20 on that dex save. That's a good call. A good roll. A straight up beam of energy is going to shoot out of Teth's chest from his orb directly at you. And you can see behind you as you dodge out of the way, it flies right past your face and just busts a hole through the stone wall behind you. You can see clear through it outside. And Teth is somewhat distracted enough by you and by Zapdos coming down that he lets up on his grasp from Belle, and she gets a chance to get back up into her chair, and she books it out the front door.
Okay.
Teth does not say anything to you. He just starts walking towards you.
Eyes still white?
Yes.
Shoot. Let's see. Vern will start backing. We're on the bottom floor, right?
Yep.
So there's at least an opening behind me where I can get outside. I'm not going to get cornered.
He made an opening for you, that's for sure.
Okay. I'm going to start backing up, and I have my orb on me, right?
You do.
I will take it out. I'm like, hey, Teth, remember orb buddies? And I hold the orb up, and I'm still kind of walking backwards while I'm holding it as he's getting closer, like keeping a safe distance from him.
Okay. Your orb begins to glow red. Slightly.
Red for love, Teth. We're friends.
Make a charisma saving throw, please, Vern.
Okay.
DC 15.
It's good to be a sorcerer. All right. Man, Teth, you just I'm
There we go. Let's go.
Dang. Okay. Vern, give me your well, yeah, so you've just been training with dang, nat 20. Okay. With a 30 charisma saving throw, you feel an unprecedented amount of power source through your body. More than you've ever felt in your entire life. And you have, natural magic. You've always felt the arcane kind of flowing through you, and this is just, times 10 coursing through your veins. You see Zapdos come out of your pocket, and he'll mount himself on your shoulder, and you see just as his body separated before, up in the in the training area up above, you'll see pieces of his wings and his body separate from his body and just kind of plate your arm, giving you kind of like temporary like plate mail on your arm.
Burn Megazord.
Yeah, going down to the orb, and he'll kind of encase the orb in this metal arm that you have fortified by Zapdos, and you upcast to your highest level Witch Bolt. You spell Witch Bolt at Teth.
Okay.
And you push him back, and you give yourself enough time to get far enough back up the stairs. You keep him at bay, and it's almost like the ending scene in Harry Potter where they're like shooting
the beams.
Yeah. It's you have red energy coming from you and Zapdos versus Teth's white energy, and they explode in the middle, and you're forced back, but Zapdos's arm kind of catches you, and Teth is knocked back, and you can tell that he's not in his armor. He doesn't have anything on him that he normally would be carrying, but that doesn't stop him from taking one last glance at you and looking at an outer wall and bursting straight through the wall of Belle's workshop. And if you walk up to the opening that he made, you can see him bursting through the outer wall of Mir and running out into the forest.
Do I looking out, besides like probably shocked villagers, do I see any of my comrades like around?
You would see Belle, who is pretty badly bruised. And you would see Warwick coming from the barracks that's right next to the tower. As far as the party goes, nobody else is in Mir at this time.
Okay.
The immediate party.
I'll first turn to Belle. Belle, what was going on with Teth?
He had the orb placed in his chest. She's very short of breath, and Warwick is now next to her, kind of tending to her wounds.
Okay. And that it made him that?
She's kind of at a loss for words. She didn't expect that. And you hear a wise elderly voice from behind you. Beth is walking up from her house. She'll say, "He's reverting back to his old ways. Someone will have to go retrieve him from the forest."
All right. Well, I'm, orb versus orb. I'm feeling pretty good. Can I? Has Zapdos started to? Is he still on my arm?
Yes.
Okay.
He's like perched on your shoulder, but he's attached to your body for sure.
Okay. If I have him leave my arm, was he also like safeguarding me from the power I was?
Less of a safeguard and more of just an additional channel for it.
Like a focusing tool.
Mhm.
Okay. I want to be like Zapdos. Start tracking him, and I'll point to the sky, the direction that
You'll
Zapdos
see, like Iron Man nanotech. You'll just see him peeling back off of your arm and reforming into a little bird, and then he'll start flying after Teth.
Okay. And I'll start running after him too. Obviously not as quickly, and I'll just rely on Zapdos's psychic messages to help like steer me to where
All
he
right.
is. Cool.
And that's where we'll leave off with Vern.
Okay.
Nice, man.
Good job, Trent. You saved Belle's life.
We are going to... Yeah, that was good. We'll skip Eric for now. We'll pick up with him next week. And we're going to move on to... Hold on one second.
I really
have
want to beat Teth because I want to know what's going to happen now as he's racing out there.
I have. That is the best I think I've ever seen you roll.
Yeah, this is.
It was a great time to roll those.
I've now
Clutch.
shaken off
could've-
the Arthur choke curse.
Could have ended very bad
Yeah.
based on discussions I've had with the DM.
Oh, really? That
So,
blast?
yeah.
Would have hit me.
Yeah, good. Well, just in general.
Okay.
So good time to roll well.
Good. Phew.
Hey, that's all the Arthur rolls come catching up with you.
Okay.
Mm,
Like that's the
So
good
we can
karma
see it.
from all the 1s and 2s Arthur rolled.
that's right. All those failed elks.
all those elks are coming back.
Papa.
Yeah.
Papa.
Papa.
Which one?
You see, it's what color is your car?
Blue.
The wheels are blue. You're right.
Ooh.
What color is the body?
Yeah.
What color is that?
Yellow.
Yellow. You're right.
Hello. What color's your shirt?
What color is your shirt?
Yellow.
It also is yellow. You're right. What color is Papa's shirt?
Good.
Good.
No, it's not black. It's close to black, though.
Blue.
It is blue. You're right.
Oh,
I would have
Alright.
said black.
Do you want to help me play my
that's
game?
what
Do
I.
Yeah.
you want to sit with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's on now.
The light is on. You are right. You are right, buddy.
You're holding it.
You're holding the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Green.
Yeah.
And
The-
white.
The lights on there are green and red.
Green and yellow.
And yellow. Yeah, good job, buddy. All right. We're going to tell a story about a character named Bracklebaff.
Uh-oh.
TJ Matthew.
Yeah, you're right. GJ is right there.
Is he allowed to be here
What
for
do
this?
Matthew?
All
It
right.
is Brackle, so
I've heard that Brackle does some pretty unhinged shit.
They do be getting up to
Alright.
some business.
So we're going to move on to Bracklebaff. And this is... so we're actually taking a few steps back because we did your original one last week, Andrew.
Mhm.
So this is day 6, directly in the middle of your downtime. You've had a few days to think. You've had 5 days since you've talked to Sekala. Much more time than the last gap that he gave you between conversations. where do you think you would have gone? / what have you done in that time? Knowing that he gave you kind of a 4 or 5 day time limit, and your clock is almost up before you have to give him an answer.
So it would most likely be very unfruitful, but I'll just do it off the chance that he finds something. He would look for any type of history or knowledge of Sekala in terms, well, just in general, but overarchingly, he would try to figure out any motivations or any pattern to his actions, and if he's being truthful about what he wants. Just from any text or anything like that, there's probably nothing, but I mean, he would still try to.
So there's not a very large section on deities outside of the Presidium in Mir. Again, from Vern's interaction with it last week, it's largely handwritten. It's very first-hand type of text in there. What you could do... Hi, baby. I'll give you a couple options, and you can see which one you like better. You can take you could take 2 days, so it'd take you until day 3 to travel back to the bunker and take the teleport link to the Eagle Peaks, which is in the northwest corner. That's a place that a lot of people use for research. You would definitely find the most information and the widest variety of information there.
And red too.
That is red. You're right.
That's green. That's
And green
red.
and yellow.
And there's a red too.
Mm-hmm. So you could go to the Eagle Peaks. You could also take a lot less time to go back to the capital. There is an extensive library inside of the Castor compound.
iPhone.
That is a microphone. You're right.
I touch it.
I touch it.
You'd probably find less information there, but it would take much less time to sift through everything. You would also have to explain why you're there. You are not wanted. You're not lumped in with the rest of the party as far as the projection from Cerberus, but it would be weird that you're there by yourself and not keeping an eye on the party or looking for the others. The third option would take like a medium amount of time, maybe a day and a half. You could go to the library in Charvassus, and that would get you some type of intermediate amount of information. So not as much as traveling out to the Eagle Peaks, but a little bit more than you would think would be in the compound.
I'll do the Eagle Peaks and just, risk it and see if I can make something of it for a couple days or whatever, or 4 days, however long I've been there.
Okay. I'm going to have you give me a survival check to start.
That's green.
Yep. 11.
Okay. So the journey takes a little bit longer than you expected. You run into a few hiccups on the way back to the teleport link, going back to the bunker, just between Mir and the transporter. Rather than the few hours it took you to get there, you run into a few environmental snags.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes you about half a day to get back to the bunker. Once you're there, you have to test a few different teleport links to make sure you get the right one. And after a few tries, maybe 2 or 3, you find the right one, and you end up at the Hall of Two Beginnings, just above the Eagle Peaks. And once you get there, you've been there once before to retrieve Urzak for the king's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So you're familiar with the territory. I would like an investigation check. Jeez. To see how quickly you can find the section you need.
Nice. 19.
You're touching it.
You're touching it. You're right. What is this?
Headphone.
A microphone. Yeah. What are these?
Yeah, headphones.
Headphones. You're right.
Are you holding it?
You can hold them if you want.
Oh.
Thinks he keeps saying iPhones.
I know. It's hard to discern what he's saying if you don't hear it all the time. All right. So you make it to Eagle Peaks. It takes you, the Hall of Two Beginnings.
The trees.
Um,
The trees
after,
right
you getting back to the hub, testing the transport links, and finding the place that you need inside of the library, almost a day has passed. So you're already at the end of day 2, pretty much.
Put it away.
You're going to put them away. Thank you. All right. So the first thing that you find in the section, it's kind of like lower tier gods. So you find a big section about divinity and the Presidium and kind of the umbrella that is the Pantheon. You getting down? Where are you going? Oh, nice. Your cones. So you find this section, and it's pretty easy to kind of search into Talos and kind of go under his breakdown and find information about Sekala. Sekala was not always a deity. He used to be mortal, and he ascended under the tutelage of Talos. So he has Talos to thank for being a lesser deity. When he was mortal, was incredibly invested in the unification of the Yuan-Ti and the Tritons. You would know from your background that there has been a lot of friction between those two societies for quite some time. It doesn't necessarily date back to the war, but a lot of Yuan-Ti citizens believe that the Tritons had a hand in them being forced underground. And Sekala was a religious leader in the Triton community that tried to bring them back together. He was not into any of the animosity. He didn't buy into that. He's just playing with his vacuum. He's fine. Are you charging it, buddy?
You're touching it.
Good job.
Nicholas sounds like a decent dude.
Yeah, so far.
So
As a mortal, he was he lived in pretty high regard from the rest of his peers. He was often a person of good rapport with any of the other leaders in his community, as well as some of the more open-minded Yuan-Ti. The further you get down into the class breakdown of Yuan-Tis, they didn't really want anything to do with any of the Tritons, regardless of whatever their reputation was. But he always kind of tried to keep an open mind, and that's what caught the attention of the gods. There was a death in the Pantheon. An aquatic god was killed, and Talos ascended him into that open position. So he had a direct blessing from a Presidium god to become a deity himself. That's how he ascended. You would also know that he never had a family. He always considered himself a man of his people. So he never took a spouse. He never had children. nobody ever knew the origins of his parents or anything like that. He was very tight-lipped about that stuff. So after he ascended, he just considered the pantheon of deities his new kind of found family. There you can find many texts about that, actually, how he considers himself incredibly lucky to have been accepted into a group such as this, because he never really had anything on a personal level that compared to that. So everything you can find at a surface level, it's very very gracious and very positive as far as social status and status as far as the other deities go. Could I have your choice, either a history or arcana check?
I will do history. Oh wow. 24.
You're touching it.
You're touching it. You're right. With a 24, was that history or arcana? I missed that.
History.
That's hot.
Is it hot? Oh yeah, don't touch the light. It's probably hot.
Daddy.
No, don't touch it.
Don't touch the light. I touch it.
With a 24 history check, you would know that once he ascended, he lost touch with a lot of people in his Triton community, and they actually, as he kind of gained acclaim elsewhere with... You going to see Mama? Do you want the gate open?
He's just like the standard D&D adventurer. Says don't touch it,
he
and he immediately touches it.
Yeah.
He started to lose connection with his community, so they didn't really see him as a deity. They just kind of saw him as a man, so they didn't end up worshiping him like other people around the continent did. You want to go back inside?
Pierce, don't come over here. Screw you, I'm coming over there.
I'm going over. I'm gonna touch it.
There's got to be something behind this guy.
He hates doors.
Well, he wanted Coralon out. I'm wondering why.
He wants to take his spot.
I mean, Coralon was a prick.
Yeah.
Well, he wants the power.
The weird part was him wanting to, or wait, did he want Vern to do something for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he wanted me to get rid of you guys. I just assumed it was because I was impressionable and like an easy pawn to get him an orb.
Gotcha.
It sounded like he wanted you to get the
orbs.
orb for him, but he also had the orb.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He was already there, right? So it's like
maybe
maybe
they
out.
can't.
Maybe he was trapped down there.
Hmm.
He needs you to open the door.
Well, yeah, maybe the orbs can only be kind of like handled by mortals potentially.
Maybe.
Let's go. Go into Archer's room.
Maybe they like to get their orb back, like a mortal has to freely give it back to them or something. I don't know. Because I'm just trying to figure out why he wanted Coralon gone. I mean, maybe he just wants to ascend again.
I always thought it was like what Billy said, where it was like, "Hey, I want this. I'm not a key player. He's a key player. I can take his domain."
Mm-hmm.
Sort of thing. But
yeah, because he's not a Presidium god, right? He's just like a
Correct.
lower god. So, yeah, and Coraline does seem like the pushover of all those Presidium gods.
It's interesting. But I wonder if he would have to take over his profile, or if Sekala would just ascend as the, guardian of the reef kind of guy, and that would be the one of the prime deities now.
So we have these prime deities that are all like major things, and then there's the god of the reef.
I protect all of the leaves.
A singular geographic region in oceans. That's
It's
we
more.
know,
I know he does more than that, but I can't remember
do we know
specifically.
the origins of the orbs?
I thought it was like a piece of each of the deities' power. I don't think we know the full origin.
My character doesn't know anything about any orbs.
We just know
which
so
is really
far.
strange. See, you worship one of them.
I mean, how many people really know about the orbs in the country, though? One was locked away in the bottom of a church way down that we had to unlock. And the other one was down in an elevator in a cave that you had to break
What
through
you
the
gotta
bottom.
do? So what you gotta do, Fitzco? You gotta go to like floor like B10 of your
Of
church.
my church, just see what's
Oh.
down there.
Yeah. Think about it. Everything good
It's just
is
an
in a
orb.
basement.
Hanging out like in a corner.
You've never found anything great in pure sunlight. They're not letting him clean the house.
Sometimes you just gotta melt down a little bit.
Thanks, Rich.
I think the weirdest thing, if I multi-class into a caster, I'll get fourth level. I'll have a fourth level spell slot, but I won't learn any fourth level spells. Those are the weirdest D&D rules that I've seen.
You just get to upcast your level 1 shit.
Yeah. I would still have third level spell slots or spells, so I can upcast a fireball.
I mean, what else do you really need?
That's it. Fireball and counterspell.
Trent, I'm sending you the link to the other campaign.
Okay.
The chunk of monk.
Chunk of monk. Who's a little
Hey.
chunk of monk?
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
What are you doing on Thursday?
Oh, probably sitting on my couch.
Do you want to come watch football in New York?
Sure.
We're gonna do chicken wings.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Who plays Thursday? It's the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's or wait, are the Commanders and the Seahawks tonight?
Yeah, no, it's Seahawks and
No, Commanders
Giants.
played yesterday.
Okay, so I
Seahawks,
think it's the
Giants.
Commanders and something on Thursday.
Look at the fantasy football.
What? What?
I mean, I have 2 buys next week. That sucks.
Oh.
Nobody on my team plays.
What, monk? You going to basket?
Michael, I think you faced me on my worst bye week.
Nice.
Still gonna whoop your ass.
You may try.
Who's Eros in this campaign?
That's Barlos's new guy that they found in the tube.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thursday is Chicago, Washington.
Hey, well, it'll at least be interesting to see Chicago play, because I guess the Fields had like a good first half, maybe even 3/4, and then he Chicago'd all over the rest of the game.
He set the Chicago record for highest QB rating. That game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And he even fucked up the fourth quarter real bad.
He I don't think he might have had like one incompletion the first half.
Wow.
He was
That's
incredible.
nuts.
Yeah. So I've been trying to figure out what to multi-class into because
Mhm.
I feel like I don't get shit for Eldritch Knight the rest of my levels.
You know what?
I don't get a whole lot
Yeah,
for keeping
same.
fighter. I get another attack if I get to 20,
Right.
but a lot of things just don't work. I'm looking at Artificer right now. I think Artificer might work.
It's just so daunting. You have to be really invested for that class.
I mean, after playing one, I guess I played two. So I played who's the big Roosterman Carlos? That's riding his motorcycle somewhere around Azura.
Big
Oh, I can't remember. Squack,
Squack?
yeah. I
Squack.
can't remember his name. I think his name is Squack.
Was that no one shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the level 21 shot against Visick.
It's like, wow, my memory is getting really bad.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
He's very upset right now.
Stop feeding your kid cardboard.
It's all we have. It's all we can afford.
It's all we've got in the cupboards.
Have you seen the price of eggs?
Right. We figured
Nobody
it's
wants to
either-
work anymore.
Those are the only two options.
Cardboard and eggs for breakfast.
You run out of eggs, you eat the carton.
Exactly. It's
What do you
all
mean you're
recycled.
still hungry? Eat the carton.
They're biodegradable. That's edible, right?
We are bio.
All right. I don't really remember where we left off. That's my bad.
No, you're good. So we're talking about Sekala.
You were
And
telling us what his motive was to replace.
yeah, because I rolled so good, you were telling me
Yeah, you were gonna
exactly
say.
what he wants, I believe. No, you were gonna. You had me. Oh, that was. Never mind. You already had me roll the history check.
And then at the end of the
Oh,
book,
yeah.
he also finds the wish spell.
Yeah,
Yes, that's right.
four of them.
All 6 of you happen upon the wish spell
Oh,
over
look.
your downtime.
It's right there. The wish spell on the table.
Yeah, with that history check, that reminded me. So once he ascended, the people of his Triton community were decidedly less interested in him. They still viewed him as a peer and had a very hard time with his transition from a mortal leader in their community to a deity. So he found that a lot of his following was not Yanti or Triton. So he had all this extra power, but he kind of had to find more interesting ways to channel it to help his people because they weren't really reaching out to ask for direct help anymore. So really, you can kind of glean with what you know from the history and what you're finding in these texts that really he's trying to get to a point where he is at a high enough power level that his community, even though most of the leaders that he served with have passed at this point, they can kind of see him as a personal leader again, and he believes that if he ascends to the Presidium level goddom, that he would have that amount of influence again. So really, he is driven by his original motive to quell this civil war between the Yanti and the Tritons.
Okay.
That seems to be a recurring theme that you find in all of these readings.
Okay. Nice. That's a lot. And what is his current profile, or what is he god of?
So he is the Reef Guardian.
Right.
So he presides over all of the major bodies of water in Azura. So he essentially keeps the natural balance. He kind of not helps Talos, but he is kind of the offshoot of the weather portion of Talos's umbrella. Rain, snow, things like that. Keeping the waters clean, keeping the aquatic animals happy and nurtured, things like that.
And if he went, I don't. Maybe Brackle would or would not know this. When he ascends, does he take on a new, like, does he take on Coralon's his stuff, or does he keep what he is god of, and it just moves to a prime position?
He would expand upon what he is already in charge of. So he would not become the god of balance like Coralon was.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as I could think of doing with that. That was more than I thought Brackle would find, for sure.
You rolled. That was a good history check and a good investigation check.
Had three good rolls tonight, for sure.
Much better than Vern could do, certainly. Would you like to talk with him again, or do you want to wait until closer to the end of downtime? Do you have other things that you want to do?
I figured he would just contact me when it was time. I think
Okay.
the only other thing Brackle would do in his downtime is figure out, or start. I shouldn't say figure out. Start thinking about how to walk the line of potentially supporting this god now and faking looking for the others, and how we're going to move forward under all this new heat, I guess. So, it not necessarily have to play it out, but I guess he would just be thinking about that and trying to figure it out.
Okay. I would say that to glean all of that knowledge, you stay there for quite a while, with breaks for rest and food and drink. It takes you to at least day 4 into day 5. They're researching all of this, and they even the librarians there would just let you keep some of the books. You've read them so thoroughly and so many times that they'll give you just some of the informational texts about him.
Okay.
And you can take those back to the hub with you. As you are getting back, you assume that everybody else is kind of, in Mir or around that area. So you start to journey back, and as you you exit the transport into the Drumwind Forest outside of Mir, and you're starting to make your trek back, when you hear large metallic booms coming your way, and as you are by yourself and you're not necessarily the best combatant in the party, you just kind of hide out in the brush there, and you see an unarmored, crazed, white glowing Teth just charge past you. in the forest.
Was Teth naked?
He would have a, I guess,
Brackle just said that to himself, just making commentary.
I guess to you, you've never seen him without his armor assimilated, so he would look, yeah, he would
Is
look
that,
kind of naked.
is that a naked robot?
And that's where we'll leave Brackle, unless there's anything else of note that you would want to put in place.
But he was running at a dead sprint.
Yep.
Glowing white.
Yep. Out into the middle of the forest.
He's gonna explode for sure.
Yeah, did he look... I mean, I don't know how much I'll be able to perceive, but did he look like he was in distress?
What's your passive perception?
21.
He didn't. No, he doesn't look like he's in distress. You actually, the 21, you would glean the opposite. He seems laser focused and not aware of danger at all. It's like he has a target and he is going towards it, and nothing's going to stop him.
I will let him be then. If he was if he was kind of in distress, I was just going to follow him in case he needed help. But no, if he looked good, just mark that he went that way. I guess if Teth gets lost, we're like, where's Teth been the last 2 days or something like that. But
Almost as if he didn't see you at all.
So I happen Teth drinks too much.
Yeah, you don't want to get
Can't
more
hold
of
his
his
liquor.
alcohol.
Give me one
once-
second.
Yeah. Butt naked, running through the forest. How far are Donnie and Billy? Are you guys watching campaign 3?
I haven't watched since like episode 20 or so.
Okay.
I think I'm completely caught up because I think last week was Candela.
Okay. I just got to episode 48.
I don't even know what they're on right now, if I'm honest.
74 will be the next one.
Jesus. Really? 70s?
Yep.
But without
Go ahead.
Oh,
What were you saying?
I was going to say without revealing anything to Donnie, they just left the Fey realm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good time.
Pretty cool, huh?
I don't know who I've had this conversation with, but I feel like I've talked to this with Billy. I really have a hard time connecting with any of the characters in campaign 3.
I fucking hate Sam's character. I think it's the dumbest fucking D&D character. And I get that's what he's going for. He's trying to be like,
Yeah.
he's always been Sam. He's always been funny and goofy. But this is just like,
Can't do it.
it's too fucking dumb.
I don't think you've gotten to the part where the other side comes out yet.
I think he made that character to make the joke that he made in the first episode about what he was named after things that smelled good.
Yep.
And that was it. That was Sam's thought process.
There's definitely way more to it.
And
that's deep into it.
And Liam's character,
Liam's character is kind of boring, yeah.
I don't give a shit about him. Especially after Caleb was so fucking interesting.
Yeah.
His character just fucking whatever. I think Ash's character is the best Ashley character that she's ever had.
She's amazing.
Ashley's really good. I think my favorite this campaign is Marisha.
Yeah, she has a lot of good moments too, I would agree.
I think Laudna is fantastic.
I don't think Chetney's super deep, but he's fucking hilarious.
The fucking
That's Travis.
What was his tattoo?
So
the respect the alpha. tattoo.
Yeah.
Recognize the alpha.
Recognize the
Mhm.
alpha is so fucking fun.
RTA, baby.
I wish I watched Critical Role.
I
can.
listened to a lot of campaign 3
Oh yeah. How
when I
far?
do yard work and stuff. I'm trying to remember.
Nice.
It was, I think it's been a while, but they were in like kind of like a, I don't think it was the Fey realm at the time, but it was like almost like a sandy desert kind of place or
Mhm.
something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's like in episode 30, like 27 through like
Okay.
34, 35
Yeah.
area.
So that's where I kind of fell off because I kind of go hard and I listen to a lot of them and then I stop for a while.
It's a lot of content.
It is. It is.
All right. Anything else, Breckle?
No, if I got back early before we were all done resting, I just help with whatever needs help in the town / if anybody from my troop needs any help.
Okay. Yeah. When you get back, you are greeted by an alarmed Vern, who recounts for you his orb on orb battle with Teth, and that Teth might not be 100% okay. And he sent Zapdos out to track him.
He was naked, I think.
Oh, I wasn't really looking for those sorts of things. If you look for that, Brackle, that's fine. You know, it's okay. But I just saw my friend in distress. Really.
I mean, it's you barely have to use your eyes to see it, I guess.
So and then Vern he'll like go like this, like he's hearing something from Zapdos,
Headache?
and he'll no, it's just Zapdos and I are getting really close. He's letting me know. Is Teth running in a straight line? Is it really easy to track this guy? Is he just like bolting shortest possible distance between point A and some other point we don't know?
Billy, I'm going to let you answer that question. What would Teth's tactic be back during the war?
Typically the shortest path, if possible. Unless there was, other tactical considerations. Like if it was, very clearly like, oh, yeah, don't go through the front door because they have landmines there. Okay, I guess we
well.
gotta go around the other way. Yeah, but typically, yeah, it would just be hard and fast and short.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Vern is like yeah, he's still just powering through straight on that way, but he has a pretty big stride, so we should probably catch up with him. We can figure out what we'll do on our way. Come on, Brackle.
Yeah, he was going. I think if Owlbear stopped out in front of his path, it'd just be a puff of feathers. He'd just blast right through it.
Obliterated.
Feathers.
Yeah,
Feathers.
let's go get him.
All right.
Great.
I'll show you where I last saw him.
Cool.
You guys leave the town, and as you are exiting, you see up in the sky, a ways ahead of you, is Dez flying out in the same direction.
It's a giant green dragon. I was like, oh, Des. Okay, thank God.
That is exactly what I
I'm
was
keeping you in
expecting
this fucking city. No, not the green dragon.
All right.
Awesome. We're going to move on to Urzak. Urzak, you were last seen in the capital city searching for a way to disguise yourself. you made it back to Mir and talked to Bell for a bit and went back to the capital city to present your new friend Colm with some sunglasses, UV protection. And it's been about a day since you've done that. We're now on day 9. You have no idea what happened with Teth because you are currently in the capital. You don't know what happened with Brackle. You don't know what has happened with Vern. You have no idea where Eric is. What are you doing?
They're adults. They're fine. I'm going to. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the bunker.
Okay.
And I'm going to find a brazier, and I'm going to dump my load of incense in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to read through my Find Familiar scroll.
Great.
And would I know if in the capital here, would a hawk or a raven be more common to see?
Make either a nature check or a history check. Your choice.
Definitely do history. There's a 2. 11.
You have no idea. You've never really paid attention to the bird life anywhere you go. Really, you keep most of your attention on the ground. But you do know that birds exist, and they are here. There are birds around.
Okay. Well, I don't want to copy a Valinor, so I'm going to do a hawk.
Okay.
Yeah. I cast a scroll, and from the ashes rises a fey hawk.
Very
And
cool.
I outstretch my hand, and he lands on it.
Nice.
And I simply give him a nod of acknowledgement.
Make an animal handling check. He's gonna follow your directions regardless. But I want to see if this Feyhawk knows how to speak any of the languages that you know how to speak.
They speak telepathic with me regardless. I don't know if they can speak out loud, but there's an 8.
All right. So yeah, it can definitely communicate with you telepathically. Its language is incredibly broken,
Good.
but it will obey your commands to the best of its understanding.
Great. Uh,
Very cool. You have a hawk.
we'll give him a nod and say hello.
It'll nod back to you. You get the idea that it is not nodding to acknowledge you. It is nodding to mirror your action of nodding to it. It will nod back to you in exactly the same manner that you nod to it. And it will say, hello.
Perfect. All right, friend. We're gonna go take a walk around the capital.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to use my scroll of disguise self.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna make myself look like as much of a uh as much of a nobody as I can. Actually, no, I'm specifically gonna be the guy who uh came out yelling at me after the king died and the explosion happened. He was panicking and freaking out, and being a real Karen.
Okay.
Make myself look like him.
All right. Yeah, I don't have a name for that guy. What's your name? What are you going to go by when you're in this form?
Who's Kevin?
Kevin. Perfect.
Kevin.
And we're gonna. I guess I don't know the layout of the city that well. but the idea is we're gonna go try to get as close to the caster compound as we can and take a look around.
Great. Why don't I have the city map just like up here? There we go.
Yeah, I guess we're going up to the wall. I assume normal people aren't allowed inside the compound.
Especially now, no. After the funeral and the riots, they would have heightened security outside. So if you're looking at the front gates of the compound through the wall, you can see that not only are there caster guards, about 5 or 6 of them directly outside of that front double door. There are several guards positioned around the yard. So anywhere that's this like beige color, there's a active patrol walking in almost all directions at all times.
Okay. So I'm gonna go pretty much as close to the wall as I can comfortably get.
Okay.
Maybe find a bench or something I can sit on.
Make an investigation check.
13.
Yeah, you find a bench. It's not a prime location. So it's maybe next to like a public lavatory or some other building where a few other people are there. So you're not by yourself, but you're not conspicuous by any means. So you are sitting on a bench somewhere outside the wall. Are you making a direct? So number 4 is the bunker where you would have come from. Are you going straight in to the compound from there, or are you taking a different route?
I would probably just go straight.
Okay.
Maybe stick to the main roads.
Okay. The front gate, or those front double doors, are on the north end of the compound up here.
Okay.
So you find a bench kind of right in here, at the very southern of the affluent district.
Sweet. Gonna sit down and then I'm gonna telepathically talk to Kevin. Say, all right. See the big walls behind us here?
Wait, Kevin is your hawk?
I'm sorry,
Oh.
he's not. Well, he is now. We're Kevin and Kevin.
Okay. Okay. You're both Kevin. Gotcha. He's going to get confused by that, by the way. If he hears anybody else call you Kevin, he's not going to know what to do. But okay.
Good thing it's not a common name.
Good thing. Speaking of Kevin, all of those Kevin James memes, I can't get enough of them. They're so funny, I think. Anyway, continue. What are you saying to Kevin?
Do you see the big building with behind the walls behind us there?
Yes.
All right. What I'd like you to do is go fly around. Go do 6 laps or so around the perimeter of the wall, and then go perch on top of the building there and look around, and then come back.
Okay. That is a multi-step command. I'm going to have you make an animal handling check, but I'll let you include your proficiency because it is your familiar. So plus whatever, 5.
Ooh, real great with the rolls. Thanks, Trent. Blame you. 11.
Oh, dang. Is your animal handling just a straight roll? Is it plus
Yep.
0?
Sure is.
Nice. All right. I'm going to have you roll for Kevin as well. His intelligence is a -4.
Thanks.
Give me an intelligence roll for Kevin the Hawk.
6.
Nice. So he understands the first 2 steps that you give him. So he's going to fly around, and he is going to look around. He will survey the compound. He understood that much, and he's going to just kind of perch on the building, and you can see him from where you are. You can see him. He perches up on this corner.
I
And
should say before, as he takes off there, I'm going to assume his senses.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
I'm going to see through his eyes and ears.
Great. Yeah. So he circles. Or go ahead.
I just say I'm just looking for patrol patterns, how many patrols are out, security in general, and then anything that seems awry.
Okay. You can tell immediately, even before he takes off, that the 5 guards at the front door are not moving. How long are you sitting here before you release Kevin and take over his senses?
I would probably take over his senses as soon as he gets up in the sky.
Sorry, how long are you sitting on the bench before you release him?
Oh,
Like, how long are you waiting?
I mean, I'm probably less than a minute. I'll just sit down and tell him to do his thing, and then he'll take
Okay.
off, and then I would stay in his senses unless anything touches me or alarms me to my physical senses.
Okay.
And presumably when he perches up on the top of this tower and doesn't do anything for an hour.
Right. So he will circle the entire compound. He definitely understands you there. You would see that the guards in front of the front door are not moving at all. They are stationary completely. There are 3 main patrol groups around the periphery of the compound. There are, say, 2 of them have 4 guards apiece, and the other one has 5. And they are constantly moving in a circle clockwise around the compound. So they are always moving throughout the grounds. You can also see on the top of the wall, each of these I guess joints in the wall has a small lookout tower on them. They are all filled. Each of them has an archer inside. So there are, how many are there? 7 total. So you're looking at, with 7 there, 13 mobile guards around there, and the 5 in front of the door. Easily 25 guards that you can see just on the outside of the compound. You would assume, because you did not see nearly this many guards when you were here before, that it can only be more fortified inside.
And then he perches up top there, and is he just chilling up there for a while, or?
He believes once he perches on that corner, that's the last thing you told him to do.
Okay.
So he's going to stay there.
Yeah, when he's up there, I'll stay for a while, and I guess just continue to take in surroundings for maybe a minute or so.
Okay.
Listen out if there's anything that I can hear. And then if nothing's happening, I will go back to my own senses and dismiss him to the Fey realm.
Let's see. Does he have? See, he has advantage on perception that relies on sight. I'm going to have you make a perception check for Kevin with advantage. The modifier is +2 for a hawk.
Thanks. It's an 11.
With an 11, you don't see anything else if you stay there for a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I'll temporarily dismiss him to the Fey realm.
right.
I'm gonna walk up to the front gate where this group of 5 guards is at.
So in this, so they are actually on the corner. They're within the wall. They're inside the wall,
Okay.
like at the door on the building. But you could definitely get their attention from outside the wall where you are, if you wanted to talk to them.
Walk up to the door and say, "Hey, I heard you casters are weak."
One of them, who clearly it seems like the other 4 will defer to this guy. He is the highest ranking person in the area. He's kind of taking point outside the door. He'll just kind of try and shoo you away. He'll say, "Just move along, buddy. We get this shit all day long."
Yeah, and you don't do anything about it because you're weak. You couldn't even beat me in an arm wrestling contest. You weakling.
He's still gonna try it. Yeah. Whatever. Just move along. Go about your day. We get it. Casters suck.
How much do you make in a day? I'll bet your day's wage twice over that you can't beat me in an arm wrestling contest. And then I'll flex up my spindly, weak looking muscles as Kevin.
Make a persuasion check.
So good at that. How about intimidation?
I would allow intimidation. What are you changing about what you're doing to make intimidation fit?
Just keep calling them weak. You scared I'm gonna beat you? You scared of old Kevin?
Is that your name?
That's me.
Oh, Kevin.
All right, Kevin. No,
There's a good roll. 24.
Okay. I'm gonna have all of them roll a wisdom saving throw against that, and see who you intimidate into arm wrestling you.
I love that this, assuming Kevin doesn't walk up in the middle of this conversation, that this kind of repercussions for him. Like, they're gonna see this guy, like, fuck this
Poor
guy.
Kevin. This poor other guy. All right, these are for the 4 lesser guards, not the guy that's heading it up. He fails. Ooh. So all 4 of the lesser guards are uneasy at Kevin's presence. And the main guard, you really got to him. Dang. And he'll say he's gonna look at the other 4 guys, putting on a brave face, and he'll say, "Just stay here for a second. I'm gonna take care of this guy." He's gonna walk right up to the wall and speak to you through the wall. He's gonna say, "Listen, man. Got a family at home. I don't need anybody knowing where they are. I don't need anybody prying into how much I make. I just want you to take off. Please, could you? Is there something that could give you to just get out of here?" He's shaking. You got to him.
Say, yeah, all right. Take the money off the table. Just arm wrestle me.
That's all you want?
Yeah. So when you get a reality check, we're gonna get off your shift. We're gonna go hit the weights so you can properly protect us.
He'll look
You
back at
weakling.
everybody else. He's gonna, without breaking eye contact with you, just to make sure you don't make any sudden movements, he's gonna reach back behind his belt and take out a ring of keys. He's gonna unlock the outside gate. He's gonna invite you in and say, "Okay, but house rules is best of 3."
Fine by me.
And almost as if they've done this an uncannily high amount of times, he's going to turn back to the other 4 guards and he's going to say, "Break out the table, boys." And you'll see 2 of the guards go back inside. They'll come back out with a table that's just the right height, with those little hand-holding bars you can put one of your hands on. And they'll set it up right there in the grass, just right here. I'll say, "Okay, Kevin, here we go."
In general, all Urzak's trying to do is size up these guards and
Okay.
gather how much of a threat they would be in an actual fight. Not off to a great start for them.
No, certainly not.
Good. You just talk them off the wall at this point.
Right. I mean, your intimidation was high enough. Yeah. He's going to position himself on the other side of the table, and he's going to grab his little handhold. He's going to stick his hand out for you to grab onto, Kevin.
Yeah. Well,
Captain of the front door watch versus Kevin.
yeah, I will grip his hand and we'll arm wrestle.
All right. Give me an athletics roll, please.
18.
That's going to be a 9 from the soldier. All right. He immediately shows some weakness. You push him back. He's still resisting a little bit. He's going to roll a Constitution saving throw. He's still holding on. Another contested athletics check, please, Kevin.
19.
Yeah, you pin him immediately. You get him down so quickly that he's shocked. You do not look this physically strong. He is. Make an intimidation check, actually. Make another one.
50.
Yeah, he's definitely uneasy. Something is not adding up in his brain. You can tell that he's got some strength, and he's probably a relatively smart guy. You don't get to, a higher rank. You're not in charge of other people in the caster army without having some combat experience. So him looking you up and down, he feels like something is strange, but he's not aware of what's going on, actually. But it is best 2 of 3. So he's gonna rack up again, kind of stretch his arm, rub his bicep a little bit, get back into his position, and square back up and put his hand back up. I'll say, "Lucky first try, Kevin. Let's go again."
Say,
He will not retaliate, but he would not take that. that from a normal person.
But this is Kevin we're talking about.
This is Kevin. You're right. All right. Contested athletics check, please. This is round 2, Kevin. Dang, he's rolling so. Dang. Okay. He's gonna make a. He's gonna make his Constitution save at disadvantage. Yeah, you pin him right away. He got a nat 1. Not even a second push necessary. He was clearly worn out from the first round. Totally underestimated how strong you actually were, and you. He actually, I'm going to say he'll take a point of bludgeoning damage on his hand. You pin him so hard, and he'll kind of back away, like holding his hand a little bit, say, "Oh, okay. I don't really know what to do now."
Kevin's gonna stand up. He looks at the other guards. What are their reactions?
They're all shocked. Cap's never lost an arm wrestle before. What?
Kevin's just gonna say, says, "Sure, it's finest, huh?" Ha! He'll spit on the ground. And he's just gonna stomp off at this point.
The captain will follow behind you quickly, not to follow you, but to close the gate and lock it as soon as you get back outside.
Okay.
What an interesting encounter.
Y'all a
Yeah.
bunch of weak asses.
Yeah.
Murasaku's feeling insecure. He needed to just
Need
feel
a
good about
little,
himself for a day.
little pick me up. Yeah,
Yeah.
pick me up.
Right.
No, just some scouting, just to see, when he goes to talk to the group about going to kill Cerberus, to have some information to back up his case. And
It's certainly a good case to be made, I think.
We will. How many days has passed since I went and saw the shopkeepers there?
It has been, well, you told him that you would be back tomorrow when you were there, and that was day 6. So you would have come back the next day with his glasses, and it has been 2 days since then. So we're on day 9 right now.
Okay. Now I'm just gonna go back to the bunker. And,
Okay.
Did I, for the sake of us being in the same place at the same time, maybe, do I know where anybody's at? Do I know that there are people in Mir?
You would, based on where they last were when you left, you would assume that both Vern and Teth are in Mir right now.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
is not true, but you don't know that.
We agreed on coming back on 10th day. It was kind of our timeline.
Yes. Reconvening on the 10th day and shipping out. It's kind of spending a day together, getting reacclimated on day 11, and shipping back out after a week and a half.
Okay. We'll probably go back to the bunker, and then I would. I'm also going to make sure that nobody's following me. Things like
Yeah.
just pissed off a bunch of casters.
Give me either a perception or a survival check, your choice.
Both zeros. 7.
Great. You definitely can't see or hear anyone.
Yeah, I'll go back to the bunker. And going to bring my equipment with me and go through the mirror portal, and I'm gonna set up camp outside the portal
Okay.
as to receive anybody who's coming back that way.
Great. Yeah, you set up camp. It's starting to get later in the day. Again, this is day 9, and the sun is going down. You are getting ready to turn in. You could even bring Kevin back to help you keep watch if you wanted.
Sure, Dad.
And between you and Kevin, you notice, you hear a set of footsteps approaching. From the direction of Mir, coming from Mir,
I will
should be noted.
assume it's somebody I know, and let's stand up to welcome them.
Out of the darkness, you see another bird fly out towards you. It's a crow, and shortly after the crow is the figure of a very alive human, Eleanor. She is still in her human form, and she is on her way to the teleport link. You get the idea she did not know you were going to be here.
Look at her confused and say, "Not exactly who I was expecting."
Likewise. I didn't think you'd be here either.
You see any of my companions back in Mir?
Apparently something's going on with Teth. Saw Vern and Brackle yesterday, kind of midday. They were heading out this way into the forest. They didn't say much. They kind of moving fast, though.
Yesterday?
Now I have to make sure that my math is correct. Yes. Yes. Yesterday.
That's unfortunate. Do you know which way they were headed, or?
I only saw them leave out of the western wall. Apparently, Teth destroyed some property. They were going to ask him about it. I wasn't in town when anything happened, so I didn't see anything firsthand.
If only I knew someone who was good at tracking through the wilderness to help me find my friends. Give a very expectant look to Elnor.
I'd love to help Urzak, but I think I have some different tracking to do right now. It's pretty
sure.
important.
Sure. Sounds like I brought you back to life, but sure, go ahead.
If you want me to stay, Urzak, you could just
No,
tell me.
no, by all
Thank
means,
you.
please, don't let me stand between you and this teleporter. I'm perfectly good at tracking myself anyway, so I'll find them on my own.
Sure, I didn't want to impose. I'm sure you're perfectly capable.
So where exactly are you going? That's so important.
Up north. We're turning to this way of living, to for lack of better term. It's brought back a lot of memories that I haven't had in a long time. I used to have a family. I used to have a wife. I used to have a farm. I'd forgotten about all those things, and I think now's about the time to try and go find them again.
Well, wish you the best, and we're up north.
Just south of the Dry Rock Range. Her family are all descendants of Kyrie, the first tithe winner. Very popular when we were together. If you're ever passing through, though, I'd love to see all of you again.
Also, then you'll see us, but now it's okay. Listen, can I actually say that?
We've had such good rapport this whole time. Don't turn into a jackass now.
No, he doesn't say that. You will you simply extend a hand out to shake her hand. He says,
She will take your hand. Yes.
shake her hand and say, "Yeah, we're in the area. We'll stop by."
She will finish the handshake and kind of walk towards the transport. And she'll say, I don't know if there's anything that I can ever really do to repay all of you, especially you. Thank you very much.
I mean, you could help me go find my friends, but of course, it's I think it's a debt you owe to Marwell more than anybody else. I was simply a mediator of the process.
Once I get things straightened out, I will be back to help you for sure.
Well, hopefully they're not lost for that long. Kidding. It's just so funny to me.
Donovan the player is taking actions as Urzak the character that Donovan the player insinuated he didn't want Urzak to take actions to do. Yeah, she'll nod her head, and you will see her disappear into the transport.
Great. So I'm gonna immediately pack my shit up and go to Mir and find the gate where I can hopefully find some large robot footprints leading in a straight line somewhere.
Yeah. You don't even need to make a check. As you approach Mir, you see some large footprints that you would immediately equate to Teth's size in some dried mud outside of the wall. And there is a very large Teth-sized hole in the western wall with rubble everywhere. He burst straight through.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna make haste and start following the path towards Teth.
Great. With that, we are going to shift over to Zakai. Zakai, you have accepted Daunt's offer. He's going to try and convince the party to assimilate you into their adventures. On your way down to Mir, obviously you are moving on foot, but Daunt has a vehicle, an arcane-powered vehicle that was commissioned to him by the Caster Army, so it is much less strenuous than just traveling on foot. It has been about 5 days since you left Cassis. He gave you a day to pack up, and you've been traveling with him ever since. We're now on day 10 of the downtime. And you are now getting up to, or down to, rather, the northern borders of Mir. Make a history check for me, Zakai.
I was just about to ask. That's a 21.
Sorry, my headphones unplugged. Did you say 21?
Yes.
Okay. With a 21, you would definitely know that whether it's through your religious connections, through people in your congregation, or just general study, that they are not very friendly to casters. In fact, they do not allow casters within the walls of their city in Mir, and you are seated beside one of the highest ranking casters there have been in recent memory. You know that he is not necessarily affiliated with them directly anymore, but that stench doesn't wear off within a matter of days. So you are going into this situation with the knowledge that the person that's vouching for you might not even be able to do anything for you, might not even be able to get into the city. You approach the north gate, and it is unmanned. There's nobody there. What do you do?
Well, I guess my first question is, what do I know about this city?
I'll lump that in with the same check. You would know. Let me get back to the map here. You would know that they are not friendly to casters. You would know that it is a vast majority, if not an entirety, undead population. These are not mindless undead. You know that they are reborn in some way or another, brought back to life from the brink of death.
As a grave
You-
cleric, I think I'm very uncomfortable with that.
Especially coming from the Church of Cassis, who is expressly the deity of making sure that mortals have a safe and comfortable rest. A village full of undeath is almost the antithesis of what you would preach to your flock weekly. So that's what you're walking into, and you know that that is the situation. You also know that it's not super big. It's not it is definitely a village or a town as opposed to a city. The population is pretty low, around 150 people at the very maximum. And you are used to the large city of Cassis, which is thousands and thousands of people. And coming upon the city, it clearly is not heavily guarded. There's nobody at this gate.
Cool. I think I would like to kind of pull General Daunt aside before we go in.
Okay.
And I just want to say, I'm sure you're well aware, but they might not take too kindly to you here, just from your former station. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to just say a little prayer and hope that it helps us as we proceed. And I would like to cast protection from evil and good. It's not
Okay.
exactly what the spell does, but I'm just gonna put it on both of us. Can I do that? Is it multiple targets if I upcast it? No,
Let
it's
me
not.
look.
It's just on one person. I'll put it on him. He needs it more than me.
Okay. So he can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. Okay.
And if anything does try to attack him, they're at disadvantage.
Okay.
And I will name undead in this case. I think that would apply here.
Reading the spell, it doesn't say or. I think
It should be everything.
he's
Oh, just
protected
all of
from
them?
aberrations, celestials,
Yeah.
elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Oh, wow, good for him. I thought it was one. Okay.
Yeah, what a spell.
So I'll cast that on him. Just say a quick little prayer. And say, let's just hope for the best. And we'll walk in. Why not?
Great. As you walk in through this northern entrance, it is eerily quiet. You come down from this. I'll move you to the Mirian map. If I can find it. There it is. You come through this gate up here. And your first sight of the city is a large, I can't even say large, it is huge. It's a massive tree in the center of the village. It is not dead like it looks in this map. It is fully blossomed with leaves and flowers all over. It seems to be glowing with a shimmering white hue from the base of the trunk all the way up to the highest leaves. Make an Arcana check, please.
I don't think I'm great at that. It's a 6.
You can tell that it's magic.
Well, that's certainly not natural.
As you get in past this top tree line here, it's very evident that nobody is in this square. You can see from across the way a large stone tower over here with a front door and a giant hole directly to the left of the front door.
Okay.
Stone from the tower scattered all over the ground. Other than that, very little in the way of unrest that you can see. No beings in the general area.
Is there any one particular building that looks like that would be like the town center or where I could go to get information from people?
The most official looking building is across the way. This is the barracks. I mean, you don't know that it's the barracks, but it is the largest individual building other than this tower. So you would guess either one of those places.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just head there. Let's check in and see if they know where we might find the people we're looking for.
Great. As you enter the barracks, you see a very large dragonborn, a blue dragonborn, sitting at a table. And he gets up immediately when you enter. Other players will know this as Warwick. He is the captain of the guard. He runs the barracks. He was typically the right hand to Silgath, who was the leader of Mir until he was killed at the end of the last chapter.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He will promptly pick up his sword from the table where he was sitting, and he is going to enter a defensive stance. And he's going to ask, "Who are you?"
I mean no harm. I'm traveling here with my companion. We're looking for. Let me start over. My name's Zakai. I'm a. Fuck, I forgot my title. Archbishop.
Oh, fuck.
Archbishop to the Church of Cassis, and I'm here looking for a group of individuals that that may be in need of some assistance. Have you happened to see? I describe some members of the group that I know of.
I guess Daunt would know. He would be able to describe Brackle pretty well. Make a. Are you being 100% truthful?
Yeah.
Make a
That was-
persuasion check, please.
I don't. Aha, there it is. That is. Oh, that's pretty good. That's 23.
He's going to keep his sword up, but he's less tense once you describe Brackle. He's not convinced 100%, even with a 24, because he just witnessed the dismantling of a large beacon above their city that was scrying on the party.
Okay.
He's going to say, that sounds like the caster that we let in, but thousands of people across the continent are searching for this group of people. Why am I not going to cut you down right now?
I mean, you certainly could, and I guess you would be in your right too. I'm here in your city, but uninvited. But I have to implore that. Honestly, I really mean no harm in this case. I was instructed to come out and meet these people. I've heard that they're doing something that might be able to help in the fight against the casters and right some of those wrongs. And by all means, I would love to aid. As we all know, we're kind of in a tumultuous point in history now.
You say this accompanied by a general of the casters.
Former general.
And Daunt will interject. It's like, yes, the former. Warwick's going to say, he's going to point his sword directly at you and kind of advance. So it's almost touching your chest. He's going to step to the side a little bit. He's going to say, sit down. There's somebody else that needs to talk to you. He's going to motion with his non-sword hand to the table that he was sitting at.
Yeah, well, I'll go sit down.
You about to meet the best character in the campaign.
You are going to see Warwick's eyes go white for a second. Almost like they roll back into his head. and he'll come to. Hilarious. Yeah, Philip's coming out. And within a matter of minutes, maybe the most tense couple of minutes that you've experienced in quite some time, because Warwick is just standing in front of the door where you came through, pointing a giant barbed sword at you directly, Zakai. There's a soft knock on the door. Warwick will step aside and open the door, and in will walk a quite elderly, small woman. And she's going to walk right up to you. And she looks very stern. She is no nonsense as far as you can see at surface level. She's going to say, "What are you doing here?" And as she says that, she's going to place her hand directly on your chest.
Thank you. I'm just gonna basically recount the exact same thing. I came here searching for this group of people at the request of this man here who knows a bit more about the current goings on of the casters and that whole situation. Sounds like I could provide some assistance to them in some way in helping set things right.
Sakai, give me a deception check, please.
I'm so good at that. It's a 6.
Okay. Roll insight for Beth. That's about right. She'll be silent for quite a while. She's gonna look you right in the eye, and she will not break contact with her hand to your chest. Again, another series of very tense minutes for you. And you almost see the decision being made in her eyes, Zakai. She'll turn to Warwick. She'll say, "This one's fine. I'm going to take the caster with me, though." And she looks at General Daunt, and almost as if he is a puppet at her will, she's going to kind of just like put her hand up, and he's going to stand up from the table. She'll say, "Come with me." And he will follow her right back out the door.
Okay.
And
fine.
Warwick will lower his sword. So you know the party, or
Not at all.
you?
Not at all.
So a former caster.
Yeah, he was under the impression that they may be here, have been here. Honestly, I don't know the first thing about him. I'm just ready to meet him and hopefully see what we can do together.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to keep you here with me for a while till Beth's done with your friend.
Of course.
I'm sure one of them will be back here sooner or later.
Yeah.
And he will sit across from you at the table and very heavily drop his sword down onto the face of the table, so you know exactly how heavy it is.
Just gonna ask, do you mind if I just Pull out. I keep a journal about everything. You mind if I just write some notes? You're free to read through it if you want. Just whatever.
Go ahead.
I'll pull out my notebook and start scratching away at this whole encounter, everything that's happened.
Okay. Warwick's going to keep you there in the barracks for several hours. He shows no intention of letting you leave or leaving himself until through the back door you see a face that you are familiar with ish. You haven't made direct contact with. You know of him from his travels. One Bracklebaff. Warwick will see you come in, Brackle, and he'll say, I didn't expect you back here. Any word on Teth?
Would there have been any word on that, DM?
You were coming back to Mir to report on Teth. He just steamrolled away from you guys. There was no way for you or Vern to catch him on foot. At this point, Vern corresponded with Urzak, and you guys have a campsite set up by the transport link. So you can go easily back and forth between the forest and the base of operations. And you were volunteered to come back to the city to update Warwick, Beth, and Bell.
Okay. Well, we haven't caught him, but we're kind of stationed out there and have a perimeter kind of set up. So we do know where he is. However, he's still going strong.
Understood.
What do we have here?
I was hoping you could shed some light on that yourself. He claims to be working with General Daunt from the casters and says that he's here to help you guys out.
Well, General Daunt is no longer a general, so that's interesting. Hello, I'm Bracklebaff. What's your name?
It's a pleasure. My name is Zakai Thorn, Archbishop of the Church of Cassis.
So you say that General Daunt has sent you to help us?
He had mentioned that there's that you guys were currently working on something that maybe could use a little divine assistance, and that's kind of my specialty.
Interesting. So here's where that story's kind of odd to me. We were, I mean, I'll just say for now that it's just me here. Unfortunately, you did hear another name. They are wanted criminals for the casters. So it'd be interesting if the casters brought somebody here to help. I do know former General Daunt was a caster and a very close person to me at the time. So I can see that he might want to help me personally. However, I don't know if I trust that you're here to help a group of caster most wanted. So how exactly are you helping us?
You know, he didn't quite mention that. and he's not here.
When did you last see him?
The lady took him away, so not much I can do about that.
What lady? Where?
Maybe you can put in a good word for him, or at least meet up with him.
How many days ago did you see him?
Oh, it was today, a few hours ago. He's here somewhere.
Warwick will interject and he'll say, Beth apparently gave this guy the go-ahead. She took the general with her. Haven't seen him since.
Oh. Well, that's definitely a good point your way if Beth has given the go-ahead already. Daunt's here, though?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
What did he look like? How does it look like he's doing?
I don't know who you're asking.
Oh,
It-
you, Zakai.
Seems to be okay to me. I can tell that he's still maybe a little troubled, struggling with recent changes and events, but looks healthy.
Very interesting. Well, Zakai, I will talk to you soon. Wait, hold on. I'll talk to you soon. Keep your mind sharp in the meantime, and I will be back. If you excuse me, Warwick, I'm going to find Daunt.
Of course. As you are you exiting the barracks to go to Beth's? I'm assuming.
Yeah, Bracklewood for sure.
Warwick would allow you to follow him, Zakai.
Cool.
So you two would have a moment, just the two of you walking across the square.
So where exactly are you from? See your robes are must be a follower of Cassis.
Yes. I come from Cassis. Originally from a little further west, and happy to be here.
I would maybe wait until we got somewhere where probably people weren't at or looking, and maybe direct them towards, I don't know, like an alleyway or behind the stables on the way to, or I don't know if those are stands or the houses, towards Beth's place.
You could circle back around these houses, kind of right here.
Okay. Sakai, are you here on church business? Or are you here because of our business?
Can it be both?
It can. What did Daunt tell you?
Daunt didn't really tell me much other than I needed to come in and meet up. It's beginning to lose the faith, I'll be honest. It's been a long time since I've heard anything from anyone.
How long has it been?
5+ years at this point.
5 years? Oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot that's happened for sure. What was your so through Cassis you were infiltrating the church there?
Yeah, I've made it quite a comfortable home.
Why didn't they send you to like the Church of Talos or something with a little more? I don't know, maybe known power, I guess.
Well, there's lots of reasons for that, but it's important to reach across all domains.
It's true. So anything interesting of note that's happened? I guess you'd have been reporting to Zaltarai, right? So that would have been when he died. So yeah, so they didn't issue a new handler or anything?
No, they did not.
It's interesting. I wonder how many are out there that have not had contact with anyone.
Um, Knowing that I haven't been contacted in so long, and I've had multiple contacts in the past few days, I would very much be interested to try and glean uh, if this is genuine, like knowledge seeking, or if I sense any sort of like if this feels underhanded and trying to pry too much.
Yeah, I can roll deception or persuasion, or do insight and then.
Yeah, I'll have you roll insight, Zakai. First.
Okay, that's very
Is
solid.
anyone's insight good enough to tell a breakfast line?
I rolled a 23.
That might be.
Ragna,
Reckle
the cleric.
Ragna, yeah. Beth.
I'm a plus 10 insight. I just didn't
Oh,
roll that
dude.
high.
Yeah, you're up there. You got this, buddy.
I
My
rolled
passive's a 20.
What's the
Are
lowest
you-
Brackle can roll?
25.
So yeah.
So I mean that's pretty close. So as far as you can tell, it's general interest in another Inquisitor, essentially.
Okay. I think. Okay, good to know.
Oh wait. Zakai, you have crazy passive, don't you?
I do. Well, passive what?
Perception. Passive
Yeah,
perception.
it's a 30. I see everything.
I'll
I'm not trying to
Well, look-
hide though.
I'll let you use that. I'll let you use that.
Okay. In that case, uh, probably 90%. 90% genuine interest, 10%. You feel like I'm guarding a little bit, just to make sure, I don't get burnt.
Yeah, I didn't receive another handler. After Zul'Tarai passed and I received word, uh, I didn't really hear anything from anyone. So I had some options. I could have tried to go back, or uh, frankly, I've made a pretty solid, nice life for myself at the church. So it was pretty easy to stay there and just wait.
So you haven't abandoned your mission, but
No, never.
that's good to hear. Well, I don't know how much Daunt has told you, and I To be honest, I'm still in the dark with what truly happened and transpired, but um, he just kind of left his post. I don't know if after all these years he just got overwhelmed or something just broke, but I was not necessarily with him, but in the area when he basically just left, and I don't know.
Well,
I honestly don't know. He was the best position Inquisitor we've ever had, up to date. So
yeah,
it's definitely a step back.
if he's trying to bring us together here and now, I think it's probably best that we go make sure he's okay here. I'm guessing he has more information for both of us.
I'd hope so. At minimum, he owes me a big apology, personally. But we'll see. You know how, I mean, well, I guess I don't know how well you know him, but
Not at all.
it'd probably be rare if we did see an apology. I'll just say that. All right.
As you say that, Breckle, you both notice Beth coming around the back of these houses.
Mm-hmm.
She'll say, there are better meeting places than behind these huts. Certainly less inconspicuous ones.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure there is.
In any case,
Oh, sorry.
I've sent your friend away. You in the purple, you can choose to help our friends, or you can go away too. Your choice.
I think if you'll have me, I'd like to stay with my brilliantly mustachioed friend here. It's a nice touch. How do you keep it so even?
Well, just a little bit of magic.
She'll look back at you, Brackle, and she'll say, "Now, within the course of 2 weeks, we've let 2 casters within our walls, and we've experienced more deaths than in the past decade. You two will find the rest, and you will make this right."
But she's talking about Teth and them, or Teth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Of course. But you said you sent Daunt away?
Yes, he doesn't belong here.
Is he leaving on foot?
I guess you wouldn't know, but Zakai, you would know that he has a vehicle positioned outside of the gate.
Nah, he has a Humvee.
Great. Well, like I said, I won't be getting that apology. Beth, we will definitely find them, and I'll make sure this one isn't our undoing, which is all true. I know I have to say all truths or omit things so that she can't, she doesn't know I'm lying. Or I'm not
Thank
lying,
you.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
She'll get you.
I would just follow up and say to her, and incidentally, if there should be any death to any members of your community here, I'll be sure that they have safe passage across and give a very pointed look while holding my holy symbol. No, it's not hidden that I don't necessarily approve.
What's my passive? Hold on, I might say something. My passive insight's not very high. Well, if you haven't noticed, Zakai, most people here are already dead, so
Make a charisma saving throw, please, Zakai.
That should be no problem.
I don't know what you're making him roll for, but
It's a 14.
You're going to take 2 points of psychic damage from Beth as you make eye contact with her.
Yeah, okay.
um,
Lots of scalding tea under your mind.
I would definitely see that Wince be like, see, she's somebody you don't want to mess with.
Visions of flaming doilies fly through your mind as you are seared internally. And that's where we are going to leave Zakai and Brackle. And in the last events, the final events of our downtime, we're going to pick back up with Teth. Teth, you are now deep in the forest, almost to the opposite side. I'll put the map back up here. You are past the transport. You have basically crossed this this strait leading out from the Gulf of Talos into the sea, and you're now in this clearing, and you've been moving now for 3 days, I think. Let me look back at that. Yeah. I guess 2.5 days. A night and 2 days. Oh my gosh. You want to leave this room?
Wow.
At first, I couldn't tell if it was Archer or a cat.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
a cat. Definitely.
After the second one, I was like, all right, that's cat.
Wow.
Oh, God.
You've been moving for 3 days, and you finally come upon this clearing. And this is where you snap out of your blackout.
Okay.
You are on the edge of the forest. You have no supplies. You have disassimilated from your armor. It is not on your body anymore. You don't have any of your weapons. And you are alone. What are you going to do?
Can I do a quick healthy health check, like check my body over, make sure I don't have any major injuries, or make sure all my bits are there?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Last time I was aware, it was like, oh, you went to your dark place in your mind and there's nothing there. And then it's click. And then it's, I'm running through a forest.
Yeah, make a medicine check.
A +2, guys.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
Hey, that's not bad.
That's a good roll.
18.
You can tell that you're still in pretty good health. You actually, strangely enough, feel like you have more energy than you've had in years. You feel very strong. There are some surface scratches, like we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
But other than just the blemishes on your metal coating, internally you feel great.
Mm-hmm. Then it's very clear that the orb is set in the chest and it is exposed and thrumming.
You can see it. It is still glowing. There is a protective case around the outside that Belle secured before you freaked out. You you made that first Constitution save, so she got the casing on before you burst out of your restraints. So it is protected. It's still there. It's the only thing you have on your person right now.
Yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and try to, because I don't have any way to. The only thing I had that was potentially would let me reach out to somebody was a sending stone, but I don't have it. So would you say this is gonna sound funny? Would you say that the orb of power, which is placed in my chest, would count as a holy symbol of my god?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
It's like a piece of him, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Direct divine power. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, something like that. Teth is gonna basically look up towards the sky. And he's going to shoot directly in the air as high as he can get. He's going to shoot off a daylight spell into the air.
Ooh,
and then
okay.
is going to take cover after that and kind of see if you can get an idea of his surroundings.
Make an Arcana check to see how high you push that.
Yeah. Arcana. Yeah, I gotta put
Or
five.
religion, your choice.
Probably going to be Arcana, but let me double check. Yeah, Arcana. No. Oof, it's a bad roll. It's an 8.
With an 8, what is the...
How does it read?
You're casting daylight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3rd level daylight.
With an 8, you just meet the max range. So 60 feet up.
Okay. And it's a 60-foot radius sphere. Damn, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
And then, using that, going to try to kind of get an idea, figure out where he, maybe kind of get an idea of his surroundings, make sure there's no immediate threats. Trying to assess if there's any shelter nearby, or other people, or good things, bad things. Lay the land.
Sure. Give me either a nature, a survival, or a perception check. Your choice.
We'll do perception. Can I persuade the forest?
Please, living trees, protect me.
Please. 15 perception.
Yeah. So you, with a 15 perception, you can hear water to the west, which is the direction that you can kind of tell you were running in anyway. So you could certainly go forward. It sounds with 15 like an egress into a larger body of water. So it kind of gives you an idea of where you are. As a follower of Talos, you are familiar with the Gulf of Talos and the city of Three Spears. So you can kind of guess where you are in relation to the map. You get that you haven't traveled a crazy far distance away from Mir. You also get the idea that for traveling this far, you probably didn't go in a straight line. You've probably just been raging around the forest for a while. With the amount of scratches and debris that's been caught on your body. With that being said, you don't know of any structural hideouts or anything like that as far as shelter goes in this immediate area. You know, on the other side of this strait is the Umber, which is a small forest that is always dark. So you certainly have that as an option if you are looking to hide from something or need extra protection from the outside. But you don't sense that you're in any immediate danger anyway. So you're kind of just chilling out. Although you just did shoot a giant sun up into the sky. So
Yep. See what it draws in. Yeah, let me check something else. Is there any, like, as far as wildlife and stuff goes? Am I through the forest, kind of at the break where it kind of breaks into a clearing?
yeah, you are at the edge of the forest. You can see the clearing feet away from you.
I think maybe because I think daylight lasts for an hour. I think maybe Teth would take a little bit of time to kind of he's immediately assessed the situation where he's at. He knows he's not close. He doesn't have any equipment. He doesn't need provisions. I think he's going to try and just kind of not necessarily like hang out like directly beneath the beacon of bright shining light in the middle of the sky, but kind of off to the side. So if somebody were to approach kind of that main central area, it would become visible for where he's at, but it might kind of be off the eyesight of whoever's coming towards him or towards that spot. And kind of just gonna try and collect himself. Maybe he just kind of sits down on a stump, tree stump off to the side, and is maybe kind of, he's kind of paying attention to if anything starts to approach, whether it's just, wildlife or anything. But he's trying to reach out to what was previously the organic matter that was in his body, and he's trying to see if he can distinctly feel the lack thereof, or the lack thereof, I guess.
Right.
In this case. And basically kind of play around with that connection mentally.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of just take a step back and you take a seat and try and just centralize your focus on the orb in your chest. It feels completely different than what you're used to. There is certainly a piece of you that you've become accustomed to that is gone. You feel certainly more mechanical now. You can't quite pinpoint what the feeling is, but it feels you feel less biological now. It feels much more structured. You feel stronger, maybe less humane.
Yeah.
It is a strange feeling that you can't quite grasp yet.
Yeah. It's enough.
You stay
enough of
there.
a,
Go ahead.
to say enough of like a reflection to tell that it's not the same, but can't quite tell why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Could you give me a perception check, please?
Yeah. This is when Vern steps in the scene and Kamehamehas me. There he is! Oh, balls.
This is, yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, you get that one.
So you,
Stealth. Gonna kill him.
so you are lost in thought, lost in this this new sensory exploration now. And you are snapped out of it by a voice that you hear behind you, which you recognize very easily as Dez. He is pointing his bow at you, arrow knocked. You can see light shimmering across his bow, which you know him as a fighter well enough that he has accessed his extra right damage on his bow. So yeah, some extra radiant damage ready to go using that against you. And he's just gonna say Teth.
Teth would look over, just moving his head. Look over towards Des. Hello, Des. How long has it been?
3 days.
2 days since the orb was installed, I assume.
Since whatever happened to you inside of that workshop.
I don't remember anything. Last thing, the operation that Bill was conducting, I think we were on hour 7 or 8. She installed the orb, managed to get this protective frame over it, and then everything went blank. And 6 was no longer in my subconscious, and that brings me to about 10 minutes ago when I came back, or became aware again, I suppose. She's
How do you feel now?
strong, but disconnected in a sense.
Angry?
No, no anger. I yeah. 6 is gone. That's which probably sounds silly. Of course she's gone. She wasn't. At least not for me, she wasn't. And now she is. And I have to
He'll
move forward.
he'll drop his bow. And he'll approach you. It's probably 30 feet away. And he starts walking towards you. I'll say, and go ahead.
Yeah, I think Tess starts to speak, and then it just kind of like, yeah, it just kind of trails off and is processing a little bit.
As will stop about 10 feet back from your location. Say, love to tell you that the worst of it is over. But it might not be. You're going to find in an hour or a day or a month, you're going to think you made the wrong choice. That's going to flare up again. But each time it happens, it'll get easier to come back from it.
Yeah.
Just have to remember that any time that rage takes over, when it washes away, it's just grief. It's not real anger. Took me a couple decades to figure that out. And a long time working with Visick. Not a mistake.
The main driver for putting this order in my chest was to help send you guys back, make things right. I don't think that that is a mistake, at the very least.
I don't think so either. I'll be standing right next to you. And that decision pays off.
I don't know. I don't know what lies ahead for you, Des, as far as for you and your return, but if it's what you desire, which I think you've expressed, to go back home, I'll do everything in my power to help you return. So just know that until then, whatever you need, I'll help you if I can.
And until then, I'll do everything in my power to help you keep an even head.
I am most assuredly going to need help with that because I don't remember 3 days. In which case, I assume and Ted kind of like looks down at his body at like all the scrapes and cuts and just the unbridled frenzy that through a bunch of sticks probably caused. You will need help with that, I'm sure. Was there any collateral damage or death?
You might owe Belle an apology. Everything else we can rebuild.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's surely, yes, Belle, of course. She hurt?
Nothing too serious. Warwick patched her up after you left.
Okay.
Come on.
We're
We're going to meet back up with the others at the transport link.
okay. Teth will slowly stand up and kind of stretch his limbs out as wide as he can and all right. Lead the way.
And that's where we will leave off with Teth and Dez for this week. We're going to pick up next week with everybody meeting back at the transport link or at the base of operations. You guys' choice. Doesn't matter to me. And we'll start by choosing where to go next.
And all the Eric stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Eric, that's true. Man, I'm really good at covering everybody except for one character.
Hey, you know what?
Right.
You get 90% of it.
It's true.
It's gonna
Better than I
open.
can do.
It's gonna open with Brackle and Urzak. Did you see that robot's Wang? He was running all naked through.
Canonically, Teth is smooth, like a baby's bottom.
I figured.
A
But
big
I think
metal Ken doll. Yeah.
Yep. Kendall.
Yeah, big metal Ken doll. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, guys. Awesome session tonight. I appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Fun.
Thanks, guys.
You as well.
Bye.
Cool.
See ya.
Good night.
You guys have a good night.
Bye.